So today's show is going to be all about a tale of two chuck roasts. This is the beef chuck roast, and this is easily one of my favorite meats to smoke. On one hand, one chuck is going to be brisket worthy. On the other hand, the other chuck is going to be total trash. What happened? What went wrong? Stay tuned to find out. And on one side, we've got only about an inch or so. Looks well marbled to me. On the other side, we are a little bit thicker at about 1.5 to 2 inches, also well marbled with a little bit more thick marbling going through it. Now, anytime I am doing a chuck or anytime I am doing a brisket, I like to keep it simple. We are just going to go with a salt, pepper, and garlic. That is all you need. I've got one that is pre-made up, and I've also got one from Uncle Steve's Shake. It is just about the same thing. We will get both sides all rubbed down, and also don't forget those ends. Get it on the board to rest, and we will get up on the deck and tend to our pit. I am going to be featuring my Halo Prime 1500 pellet grill, and for those that follow the channel, they know I do not use electric with this grill. It is all run by battery that will last up to 15 hours. So once we get that battery in, it is time to load it up with pellets. Of course, my pellet of choice is going to be the Manchester pellets. This is a 5-star blend, and it is a killer combo with this pit. I mean, it lays down the smoke like no other. So I am definitely digging that. We will set the temp on this pit to 225. The plan is to take that right up into the stall, which should be about 3 hours. So you've got that chuck all rubbed down. She's been sitting outside now for about 45 minutes or so. That is going to allow it to come up to room temperature and also allow that rub to do its thing. Our pit has reached an internal temperature of 225. So it is time to load up those chuck roasts. We are going to go one on each side with a water pan directly in the middle. Both these chuck roasts will have a chef temp gauge inside, and also I will have one inside the pit. We want to maintain that 225, and we want both these chucks to go right up to the stall. We are right at that 2-hour mark, and at this point we want to check that bark. We want to make sure that bark is nice and set. Once we can confirm that bark is nice and set, I've got a 50-50 water and apple cider vinegar. We will spritz down each chuck roast, removing any pooling. At that point, we will just let it run and take it right to the stall. So guys, before we continue on with this cook, I did want to touch upon today's sponsor, and of course I am talking about Chef's Temp. Chef's Temp right now is running their once-in-a-lifetime 25% off anything in the store. This is the Chef's Temp. They come in 3 different colors, I do believe. Of course, I use the orange. They come in gray and they come in blue. Now, I've been using Chef's Temp for probably over 2 years. Even when there is no sponsor video rolling, I still reach for my Chef's Temp. And trust me when I tell you, there is no shortage of thermometers that come through the channel, but this is the one that I grab time after time. You are going to get a rotatable design. It is going to be backlit and also IP67 waterproof. This is going to keep perfect temperature, and also when you're in those hard to reach spots, you are going to get a fancy little hold button. Just hold it and your temp will stay exactly where it is. Bring it up to you, read the temp, and it is still the same. And all information is going to be down in the description. Just follow that link and get your 25% off. And this is that quad right here. You've seen me use this on the channel. I've always got this flanked inside the pit. And the one thing I like about this quad of many things, it can reach all the way from the shack all the way into my office. I never lose connection. I have tried many Wi-Fi Bluetooth thermometers before, and I always lose connection. This is just a pitta. With this one, I can take this thing halfway down the block and still read the temperature that is on my pit. That is why you see this on the channel daily. Again, 25% off on these thermometers. You cannot beat it. All you need to do is follow the links down in the description, go right to the web page, put my code in, and save yourself 25%. We are a little over 3 hours in, and we have definitely reached the stall. We've been sitting right around that 170 now for about 15-20 minutes. She has not moved. You could see the temp on the one chuck is just at that 170. The other chuck is at about that 168. That is perfect. We will get those off. We will get them on the board. Let's get them down to the shack because it is time to wrap these up. I am going to go with a butcher paper wrap, and we will wrap it up in butcher paper. We will get those thermometers back in, and we will take it right up to that 200, 205 or toothpick tender. So we have reached that mark of about 5 hours or so, and we are reading up and over that 200. More importantly than that, we are toothpick tender in both of them. Keep in mind, this is the tale of two chucks. One is going to be perfect. The other one is going to be total trash. What happened? Well, you're going to have to stay tuned to find out. Chucks come off. Chucks go down to the board. We will let them rest for about 1 hour or so. Then I will bring you guys back. We will unwrap them, taste test, and talk about it. Alrighty, man, and that is about an hour wait time. Let's unwrap this. Let's cut it open, and let's see how we did. Now, for some reason, right off the bat, you could see this one's got a heck of a lot more juice in it than this one. I'm guessing there's a lot more marbling inside of this one. We shall cut them open and see. And of course, I am using my new knife from Dalstrong, so we'll break that in right. And like I said, this one here is juicy as juicy could be and tender as tender can be. As you can see, she is still a little bit warm. We've got a little bit of a smoke ring, not too much, but a little bit. And it is definitely pull apart, tender, perfect. Let me get this all cut up and I will bring you guys back. Alrighty, so here we are right here, and I gotta tell you, this is the tale of two different chuck roasts. This one here is about 95% of what a brisket is. I mean, just look at this. The pull apart is perfect. It's got some fat, it's got some juice. A smoke ring happening right there. I mean, again, it's pretty perfect, man. This is damn close to a brisket. There is no doubt about it. I mean, even the flavor is spot on. Over here, garbage. I mean, whatever the reason, you know, this was the thinner one, so maybe this one was a little bit too thin. So thickness is definitely the way to go, and it's dry. It's just didn't have the fat content. Total garbage, total money. This is the tale of two chuck roasts right here. Give this, I'll give this a 0, and I'll give this over here a 9.5. Go get yourself a well-marbled chuck roast. Thicker the better, so you want to go at least 2 inches, 2.5 inches. I mean, pickings were slim for me this morning at the local market. This is chuck roast smoked like a brisket perfection. This is chuck roast smoked like a brisket garbage. Again, my name is Tommy. I appreciate you all for watching. And until next time, we will see you soon.